Welcome back, lovebirds, to another episode of the Hawaii Wedding Studio podcast. Choosing your minister is about more than just finding someone to say the legal words. It's about finding the heartbeat of your ceremony. In this episode, we're pulling back the curtain on what you should actually expect from your Hawaii officiant, from personalizing your unique love story to executing the perfect emotional lei exchange. Hi, I'm Brittany, your guide to stress-free planning in paradise. Let's ensure your I-dos are truly unforgettable. All right, let's get engaged.
Pulling back, turn it out into facts. Stay a while, press and play. You're smart, great, every day.
You know, it's kind of wild when you actually look at the raw data of wedding planning.
Oh, yeah, it's staggering.
Right. Like couples will spend, 18 months and thousands of dollars obsessing over their floral arrangements or the exact shade of the dinner napkins.
The font on the invitation.
Yes, exactly, the font. But statistically, they will wait until 7 days before the wedding to hire the single person legally required to make the marriage actually happen, the officiant.
Which is just the ultimate blind spot. I mean, you pour all of this immense energy into curating the aesthetic of the day, yet treat the human being standing up there, the one legally binding you together, as a completely administrative afterthought.
Which is exactly why you, the listener, are here with us today. Welcome to the deep dive.
We are so glad you're here.
So if you are even tossing around the idea of a destination wedding, specifically a beach wedding in Hawaii, we have gathered a massive stack of source material for you.
A literal mountain of data.
Yeah, we are analyzing a really highly detailed blog post on expectations by Daniela Hyson, some comprehensive geographical location guides for Oahu, and just an aggregated ton of real, unfiltered couple reviews.
And our mission today is to decode the mechanics of a flawless, stress-free Hawaiian ceremony.
Right, and the data actually points to a completely counterintuitive center of gravity.
It really does. I mean, the source material argues forcefully that a successful ceremony doesn't hinge on the catering or the weather.
No, not at all.
It hinges entirely on the guide you choose.
Mm-hmm.
Choosing the right minister is like the single most critical logistical decision you can make.
But let's be real for a second, because I want to play devil's advocate here. I know what anyone planning a destination wedding is thinking right now.
Oh, I bet I know too.
You are flying all the way to the middle of the Pacific Ocean, right? The landscape is doing all the heavy visual lifting.
The beach is stunning, yes.
So why not just have your best friend pay $20 online, get ordained, and read a nice script off an iPad? What's the big deal?
It's an incredibly common thought process. I mean, you want intimacy, you want familiarity.
Exactly.
But Daniela Hyson's blog post explicitly warns against this DIY approach, and the psychology behind the warning is actually super fascinating.
Wait, psychology? How so?
Well, the issue isn't whether your friend loves you or if they can read well. The issue is the transference of anxiety.
Oh, they get nervous and it bleeds over onto you.
Precisely that. Think about the mechanics of the moment. Your friend has likely never managed the pacing of a legal ceremony, or dealt with shifting wind on a public beach, or figured out where to stand for the photographer.
That's a really good point. Wind is no joke.
Right. So if they are fumbling with an iPad or if they're sweating through their suit because they're terrified of public speaking, you are going to feel that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
That nervous energy transfers directly to you. So instead of being present with your partner, you spend your ceremony silently worrying if your friend is going to drop the ring or lose their place on a PDF.
Okay, that paints a pretty vivid picture. A professional then acts as a sort of emotional anchor. They absorb the anxiety so you don't have to.
Exactly. And they absorb the logistical weight too. But the sources introduce a concept that goes far beyond just reading a script smoothly. It completely shifts how we should view this role.
Oh, you're talking about the concept of kuleana?
Yes, the Hawaiian concept of kuleana.
Okay, so I read this part of the material and I have to challenge it a bit. Because kuleana translates roughly to responsibility.
It does, yes.
But practically speaking, how does an officiant protect the land during a 15-minute ceremony? Are they out there picking up trash before you walk down the aisle? Or is this just a nice cultural metaphor to make the paperwork feel more spiritual?
That's a fair question. But it is intensely practical, actually. Hawaii isn't just a picturesque backdrop, right? It is a living ecosystem with deep historical and cultural significance.
Right.
When a professional minister embraces kuleana, It means they view their role as a sacred responsibility. They aren't just a notary public standing on some sand.
They're a steward.
Exactly. They are stewarding the couple's love story with legal integrity while simultaneously ensuring that the ceremony respects the Aina, the land.
Wow, okay.
They ensure you aren't damaging protected areas, violating local ordinances, or disrespecting the cultural weight of the space you're standing on.
So if Kuleana is about respecting the land, the immediate problem you hit as a planner is figuring out which piece of land you actually want to stand on.
The big choice.
Because looking at our geographical guides for Oahu, you are forced to make a massive aesthetic and logistical compromise right out of the gate. You basically have to choose a vibe, town, or country.
That is the ultimate geographical dilemma for an Oahu wedding.
It really is.
Let's break down the mechanics of that choice, starting with town locations. If you choose town, you are prioritizing convenience and iconic imagery.
You want to be close to Waikiki and Honolulu.
Right, you want the swaying palm trees and the familiar landmarks, but you don't want to make your guests drive an hour to get there.
And the sources highlight a couple of heavy hitters in the town category. The first one is Wailea Beach.
Oh, gorgeous spot.
Yeah, the guide literally refers to this as the Beverly Hills of Oahu. It's located in Kahala, just 3 miles east of Waikiki, and it's surrounded by these gorgeous, sprawling estates.
It's so luxurious.
And you've got these tall coconut palms everywhere, which apparently make for incredible photo backdrops because they frame the light perfectly. There's a small island just offshore, and the sand wraps around the side of it. For convenience, it scores a perfect 5 out of 5.
It really offers that classic, elegant Hawaiian aesthetic without the logistical headache of a long commute.
Definitely.
But if a couple wants something even more bustling, something deeply tied to the history of modern surf culture, the guide points directly to Kahanamoku Beach.
Oh yeah, named after the father of surfing himself, the Olympian and the ambassador of Aloha.
That's the one. This spot is a sensory overload in the best way. It sits right in front of a spectacular 5-acre saltwater lagoon.
5 acres, wow.
Yeah, and the backdrop features the world-famous Hilton Hawaiian Village Rainbow Tower, plus sweeping views of Diamond Head. If you want a sunset photo that unequivocally screams, "We got married in Waikiki," this is the location.
But the trade-off is massive.
Oh, huge trade-off.
Because the guide gives Kahanamoku a 1 out of 5 for privacy. It is a highly celebrated, very public space. You are going to have tourists in neon swim trunks walking by in the background of your vows.
You absolutely are.
Which leads us to the other side of the coin, the country location.
Yes. Moving to the country options is all about expansive ocean views, increased privacy, and the raw drama of the Pacific coastline.
It requires a longer drive, though.
It does. But the environmental payoff is significant.
Reading through the descriptions of the country locations, it feels like you're being let in on a VIP secret.
Totally.
Take Ko'ela Bay, for example. Our sources have the absolute best analogy for this spot. They call it the speakeasy of beaches.
I love that description.
Isn't it great? It's located up on the legendary North Shore, right next to the upscale Turtle Bay Resort, but it remains incredibly secluded. To get to the sand, you actually have to walk through this dense woodland filled with uniquely formed banyan trees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you get a dense forest vibe and a pristine beach side by side.
And it scores a 5 out of 5 for privacy, which is rare. But if you want geological drama, the guide directs you to Makapu.
Makapu. Okay, tell me about that one.
This is on the eastern or windward coast of the island.
Mm-hmm.
You are nestled between the vast Pacific Ocean with crashing surfing waves on one side and the towering Kolau mountain range on the other.
And we aren't talking about rolling hills here. These mountains rise up vertically 3,100 feet right behind you.
It is massive.
The guide notes that the deep vertical grooves in the rock look as if they were carved by the fingers of God. Imagine the sheer scale of saying your vows with the 3,000-foot ancient volcanic wall behind you.
It provides a profound sense of perspective. It really does. And finally, rounding out the country options, the guide details Waimanalo Beach, which locals often call Sherwood Forest.
Oh, Sherwood Forest.
Yeah, this features the longest continuous stretch of sandy shoreline on Oahu. It's famous for crystal clear turquoise waters where you'll often see locals boogie boarding.
Sounds perfect.
It is. You have these striking ironwood trees that provide cool shade and act as natural light diffusers for perfect photography. It's so idyllic that some refer to it as Heaven's Point.
So you're listening to this, right? You're picturing the speakeasy beach surrounded by banyan trees or standing beneath the fingers of God, and you're thinking, fantastic, I'll just pull up in my rental car, walk out onto the sand, and get married.
And this is exactly where the romantic fantasy crashes headfirst into the bureaucratic reality.
The reality check.
Yes. You cannot just walk onto a public beach in Hawaii and legally hold a wedding ceremony. Public beach ceremonies legally require a permit from the state of Hawaii.
Okay, why is that? Is it just a money grab by the local government?
Not at all. It ties directly back to Kuleana.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the state enacted these permit laws to protect the Aina from commercial over-tourism. Without regulation, these pristine beaches would be overrun with multiple competing wedding setups.
Oh gosh, like competing arches everywhere.
Exactly. Massive arches and dozens of chairs sinking into the sand, completely ruining the ecosystem and the experience for everyone else. The permit system ensures that the land is respected and that capacities are managed.
And navigating that permit system is a massive headache. Which brings us to the core of the review data we analyzed.
The reviews are so revealing.
They really are, because when you aggregate the dozens of couple reviews provided in our sources, a very clear psychological pattern emerges. Couples don't rave about the specific phrasing of the vows or the color of the sand. They rave about crisis aversion.
Yes, crisis aversion.
They remember the person who acted as their logistical shock absorber.
And the sources point to Reverend James Chun as the ultimate case study in how a professional officiant operates within this ecosystem.
He's mentioned everywhere.
Everywhere. He doesn't just show up and read words. He handles the exact Department of Health permit process, so the couple never even has to interface with the state government.
And thank goodness for that, because the mechanics of getting legally married in Hawaii can trigger absolute panic. Let's look at one specific anecdote from the data that perfectly illustrates this.
Which one?
There's a review from a bride named Kristen S., and it outlines the ultimate Friday afternoon nightmare.
Ah, yes, the bureaucratic cliff.
Exactly. Here is how the Hawaii marriage license system actually works. You have to go in person to an agent, often at the Department of Health, and they close at 4:00 p.m. on Fridays.
Hard close.
Hard close. So Kristen and her partner decided to do a quick legal wedding before a larger event. It's Friday. It is exactly 7 days before their intended date. At 3:30 p.m., right after work, they realize they need to get their license immediately, but they are too late. The offices are closing. They're stuck.
So what is the recourse? What do they do?
Total panic. It's a holiday. It's 8:30 at night, and Kristen sends a desperate email to James Chun. Now, think about your typical vendor response time in the wedding industry. Maybe they get back to you Monday morning if you're lucky.
Usually, yes. A holiday weekend email is going straight into a black hole.
Right. But according to the review, James called her back in exactly 15 minutes on a holiday night.
That is incredible.
And he didn't just offer condolences. He immediately formulated a plan. He walked them through the timeline, calmed them down, and pivoted their impending courthouse disaster into a beach ceremony.
Wow.
5 days later, she and her family were having a stunning, intimate sunset ceremony at Magic Island. He completely absorbed their panic and rerouted it into a dream scenario.
And that is a purely logistical crisis, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the other reviews, you see a pattern of environmental crisis aversion as well.
For sure.
We are talking about a tropical island in the middle of the ocean.
Wow.
Mother Nature has intense mood swings.
Absolutely, she does. The data is full of stories where the original beach location was suddenly getting hammered by wind and rain on the morning of the wedding. Take the review from Kylie F., for example.
Oh, the rain pivot.
Yes. And a DIY officiant, your friend with the iPad, doesn't know where else to go. They don't have a backup permit, but a professional guide just seamlessly pivots.
Because they know the microclimates of Oahu.
Exactly. If it's pouring on the windward side, they know how to quickly relocate the ceremony to a dry spot on the leeward side, completely on the fly, without the couple having to stress about the logistics.
They diffuse the tension.
And even just getting to the location can be a crisis.
Yeah.
There's a review from Candace Shaw where the couple got completely lost trying to get their license and were super late for their appointment.
Oh, no, it's so stressful.
But she noted that the team was incredibly patient and understanding. It's these crisis aversion skills that prove why the officiant is the secret MVP of the day. It's about curating a completely stress-free experience from the moment of first contact to the final signature.
Which leads us to what I think is the most fascinating takeaway from all of this source material.
What's that?
When you read through the case study of James Chun, you start to notice these tiny, almost unseen details of professionalism. Things couples never even think to ask for, but end up altering the entire quality of their memories.
Let's analyze those details because they are crucial, like in Trisha Lee Sanchez's review.
Yes.
She mentions that during the rehearsal, James provides very discreet physical cues. When you are standing up there, your brain turns to mush due to adrenaline.
Oh, completely.
You forget how to hold your hands, you forget when to turn. He guides you physically without making it obvious to the guests.
And he also orchestrates an unplugged moment.
I love this part.
Before the ceremony starts, he actually asks the guests to put their phones away. He promises them a dedicated moment to take photos after the pronouncement. But he ensures that during the vows, you are looking at your family's faces, not a sea of glowing rectangles.
But the detail that stands out the most, the absolute hallmark of a great officiant, is their absence.
Yes, the first kiss.
Right. Do you know how many thousands of dollars couples spend on wedding photographers, only to have their first kiss photo ruined because the officiant is standing dead center in the background, awkwardly smiling right over the couple's shoulders?
It is the most common mistake amateur officiants make. It ruins the shot.
But a seasoned professional instinctively knows the pacing. Right before the pronouncement, James literally steps completely out of the frame.
It's brilliant.
He physically moves away so that when the photographer snaps that iconic first kiss photo, it is just the couple, the ocean, and the mountains. No random guy in a suit in the background. That unseen professionalism is the difference between a good photo and a framed piece of art.
And that level of awareness extends to how the ceremony is customized, too. The source material shows a staggering variety of cultural and personal requests that a professional can seamlessly facilitate.
Oh, the customizations are wild.
If a couple wants a love letter and wine box ceremony incorporated, he researches the tradition and executes it perfectly.
Or translating parts of the ceremony for a groom's non-English speaking mother.
That was so thoughtful.
Right. Or flawlessly incorporating specific Korean cultural references that respect a family's heritage. The reviews even mention a bride who wanted to wrap her wedding vows.
Which, requires a very specific kind of energy to facilitate without it feeling awkward.
Truly. He tailors the kuleana to the couple. And he even functions as a hub for the broader wedding ecosystem.
Going the extra mile.
Exactly. Like Katrina C's review, where it was just a tiny 3-person elopement and James brought his own 360-degree camera to film it for them. Or Jennifer Poulin's review mentioning a complimentary drink in this cool back garden-themed area.
That's above and beyond.
It is. Multiple reviews thank him for connecting them with trusted local vendors. Names of specific photographers pop up repeatedly in the data star, Hiko and Michelle Chun, with couples raving about how energetic and patient they were.
It's like you plug into this network of Aloha, and suddenly the permit is handled, the photographer's brilliant, the rain is avoided, and someone is actively stepping out of the frame for your first kiss.
Yes. So, if we synthesize all of this information, the location guides, the blog posts, the mountain of data from the reviews, the core takeaway becomes incredibly clear. A destination wedding in Hawaii isn't actually about mapping out the exact stretch of sand or navigating Department of Health permit laws or stressing over courthouse hours.
Not at all. It is about finding a guide. Someone who embodies the spirit of the island, takes the immense logistical and emotional weight entirely off your shoulders, and allows you to actually be mentally and emotionally present for one of the most important milestones of your life.
Which leaves us with a final, somewhat provocative thought to consider.
Let's hear it.
We started this deep dive by talking about the administrative binary nature of things. Right. Legal marriage at its absolute core is a bureaucratic contract. You can sign that piece of paper in a rushed, fluorescent-lit government office, and you are just as legally bound as anyone else. A signature is a signature.
The paperwork doesn't care about the ambiance.
Exactly. But if you choose a guide who deeply understands the kuleana of the land, someone who elevates that paperwork into a sacred, deeply personal milestone amidst a forest of banyan trees or beneath towering ancient mountains, it raises an important question.
Which is?
Does the environment and the guide you choose to walk you through it actually change the fundamental meaning of the commitment you are making to each other?
Oh, wow. Does the how actually change the what?
Exactly.
That is something serious to chew on.
It really is. And if you want to make sure your how is in the absolute best possible hands, you need to take action. Go visit www.hawaiiweddingminister.com to start your stress-free planning today.
Highly recommend it.
And for your daily dose of absolute paradise and incredible Hawaiian wedding inspiration, go follow @Oahu Minister on Instagram. Seriously, your timeline will thank you.
Remember, it is so easy to obsess over the highly visible things, the dress, the catering, the playlist.
But long after the dress is boxed up and the playlist is forgotten, you will remember exactly how you felt standing on that sand. Make sure you have the right person standing there with you.
We hope this episode helps you navigate one of the most important decisions of your planning journey. Your minister isn't just a facilitator. They are the calm during the excitement, the keeper of the ceremony vibes. If you are looking for that perfect blend of professionalism, genuine heart, and true aloha, Reverend James Chun and our team at Hawaii Wedding Studio are here to make your Oahu ceremony feel authentic and absolutely magical. We don't just plan weddings, we craft memories. Until next time, stay salty, stay hitched, and we'll see you on the sands of Oahu.